So, did you leave a review?
Yeah, 5 stars. It tasted exactly like poo.
Wow, I need to check that place. Whoa. Hey, what's that?
Careful, Thomas. That might be dangerous.
Oh, it's so bright.
Hold on a
I just want to
second.
get a little bit closer.
I don't think that's such a good idea.
Why? It's totally harmless. I
Wait,
just want to
Thomas,
see what it
don't!
is.
No! Thomas, what did you do? Now you'll never find out if the Cybertruck is a lie. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my... Thomas! I can't go this journey alone. Goodbye, cruel world.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
I'm James.
And this is the X6 M50i. And yes, the grille lights up. What are you doing?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
This music is beautiful. This car is not. But we have a suspicion that it might be very good to drive, because even though this isn't the X6M, it has a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 hauling out 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque.
That's the same amount of torque as a brand new regular M5. So it has M-level numbers, but without the sacrificed comfort of pure M. And that puts it in a little bit of a sweet spot. And for this year, the X6 is all new. And if you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing about. So subscribe and hit the bell.
Okay, this ridiculously has launch control, so it should hold my revs at 2800 RPM. There it is. Ooh. I think that's the softest headrest for any launch control we've done so far that's been that violent. The headrest softness to launch control aggressiveness ratio, it has that going for it.
The bellow of a V8. Yeah, that is a good sound. I do honestly believe that the inline 6 is all you need for these non-M SUVs, but you can't deny that that just sounds really good.
And like all big BMWs these days, the X6 has xDrive. It's one of our favorite all-wheel drive systems because it's rear-wheel drive based. So not only is the natural balance of the car good, it also prioritizes those rear wheels, which just makes it more fun.
With the xDrive and the winter tires, this thing is a beast in the snow. No issues whatsoever.
In Sport Plus mode, it turns everything pretty aggressive and that steering gets really weighted. And there is so much torque. When you hear twin turbos, think low-end torque. This thing hits peak torque at 1800 RPM, which is like 553 pound-feet. And it makes a V8 roar.
And if the 50i in the X5 that we drove wasn't enough, this M50i is even more aggressive than that. It has the same motor from the M850 and propels this SUV to 100 kilometers an hour in a hair over 4 seconds. And it's not even an M engine.
And yet, it still feels incredibly powerful and has all the comfort of a non-M model. We found in the M models, and especially the competition models of the new gen, the ride has been too compromised. And for the way that people are going to use these vehicles, they want to hear big loud bangs, aggressive V8 roar, and then when they want it to be, it's going to be a lovely highway cruiser, and that's what this is. So if I want to drop it down into comfort mode, it's as easy as that. The ride is unbelievably soft, and the seats are soft, these 20-way adjustable seats. I got the heated seat on right now on a winter's day. It's just a really lovely cabin, and it still makes fun noises. And it's not just the seats. My elbow is heated on both sides. Both of these surfaces are heated as well.
This has the ZF 8-speed transmission, and it's really, really fast. However, it doesn't feel that much different to honestly any other BMW with this transmission, which is a lot of them now. And neither does the rest of the car, really. In fact, BMWs lately are becoming increasingly homogenized, quite badly. It's like a cheap beer. It just all kind of starts to taste the same. This just kind of feels like an M5, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like AC/DC. All their songs sound the same, but it's a good song. But even though this feels like an M5 or an M340i or whatever, it's quite a lot bigger.
Living with this car, obviously the strange shape of it lends to a strange livability. The size is massive. I park this in an underground car park. I have to do like a 17-point turn. That's been my only gripe. And you don't really, you know, the X5 I allowed for the height and the giant size of it because you had that extra practicality. This one, I don't know, I kind of resent the size when I'm in a small area in town. But on the highway, it just comes alive.
But in typical BMW fashion, they have somehow managed to develop suspension geometry and damper setups that make this feel like a car. I don't know how they do it. It's very impressive. I'm getting tired of saying it over and over again to the camera. But this thing handles so well. In Sport Plus mode, the steering gets quite heavy. There's typical lack of BMW front end feedback, but the car is very easy to point in the right direction. But so is the X5. So, considering the fact that I have pretty abysmal rearward visibility, I have this little dome where I look out the back, an X5 is still the answer, because it does all the stuff that this does. Maybe this is a little sharper, but who cares? You're not tracking it. As much as I'm going to make fun of the way this car looks, I hate admitting that it is really, really nice to just drive in. Perfect driving position. Armrests in the exact right spot. Tons of headroom. It's lovely. And if I want to, I can go into Eco Pro. Got all the lane assists that I need, and I even have that little system that reads your eyes so you don't have to use your hands under a certain speed and stop and go traffic.
Oh, it's just all around a wonderful vehicle to be in. But you're paying 100 grand, so it better be.
So, how is it?
It's very comfortable.
Right, and very quick.
It is very quick, weirdly quick. Can we talk about the styling?
We can. I think it's very Marmite.
What's Marmite? Sounds like a root vegetable.
You don't have that here?
No.
It's you either love it or you hate it.
Okay.
In Australia, I think it's a Vegemite.
Oh, I see. Love it or you hate it. I got
Vegemite
the,
sandwich.
got the connection. Let's talk about the grill.
Yes, it is a rather large grill. I'll give you that.
It's not the size I'm talking about. It's the fact that it lights up.
Well, you know, some people would say that's pretty lit.
How much is that?
That's $500 more.
I'd rather fly to Lincoln, Nebraska for $500 than...
I don't know if I agree. This is part of what the X6 is. It's style over function. Otherwise, you get an X5. And
yes,
Mercedes does the chintzy little thing from factory.
Also not cool.
But this is a better application of that.
Is it?
And I like the dark chrome, and I think that this is a bit pig-nosed.
Yeah.
But other than that, we actually did a poll on Instagram between this and the X7 grill.
Yeah.
And it was like 50-50 hate. Yeah. So I think a lot of people would have rather have voted for both.
Yes. Okay, so fake vents. There's no fake vents on the front of this car, which is great. They just put them all on the sides.
Yes, and they are giant.
They are massive.
Yeah, it's a strange decision. This is on a winter wheel setup right now, right?
No,
and winter tires, which I'm grateful for because some of us are prepared. What are those shoes?
Well, I don't have X-Drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we look at the back?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the biggest why wouldn't you get an X5 moment.
Yeah. Well, we lose the cool lift gate, right? So, and this is
a lift gate, like it lifts.
No, but it has a double lift gate. On
Oh, in the X5 it folds down.
Which is really nice. And even though it goes, there's a lot of depth to this. There's no height.
No, not at all. Like it stops at this level, pretty much, right? So
but it's better looking when the boot is up, because when it's down,
it looks like this.
There's just a lot of,
You know what's happening.
Right?
Right? It should have stopped right here.
It
Call it a hatchback.
It should have stopped in the design department.
Ooh.
Nah, we have soft close.
Oh, nice.
But yes, the interior is a much better place to be than on the outside. You're safe. It's safe in here from seeing it on the outside.
Yeah, this is where I'm just going to cut to a clip of us reviewing this interior in any other BMW that we've done this year.
Yeah, okay.
It's literally
I
the
you
same.
do get salty about that.
I'm very salty.
However, this one has a $2,000 carbon fiber package.
I see that. You think they would have saved this for the M? What's going to be on the M? How's it going to be different?
It's going to have a terrible ride.
Yeah, okay, so obviously this is very nice. The steering wheel is very nice. I don't like the gauge cluster at all.
So-
until they change that, I'm not going to stop saying
The
it.
gauge cluster doesn't bother me. The steering wheel feels lovely. Normally we've had issues with the infotainment in the past. I've
Yeah.
had not one issue with this so far. And in fact,
There
the
you go,
moment I
BMW.
step into the car,
Yeah.
it automatically grabs my phone. It's already brought up.
No glitches.
Apple CarPlay. I have no
Have
glitches.
they finally worked it out?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But the giant waves on the screen is still my favorite
So
thing.
it is obviously a massive and very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We have massaging seats.
We do.
We have heated and cooled seats.
We have this suede Alcantara headliner.
Yeah, well, again, all part of the premium excellence package, which is
Premium
$17,000.
17,000. I forgot.
But you have
how
to get it though. It has everything.
Oh my
It has
God.
everything you need. It has all the safety
So
stuff.
for the price of a Corolla, you can get all of the interior features.
This
of
thing
car.
eats Corollas for lunch.
Yeah, it does.
But
Poops out Hyundai venues. There are a few nice things though. The Harman Kardon sound system.
yeah, it's wonderful.
It's
And
very
I've
good.
got used to the crystal shift knob, which is
I have
something
not.
You haven't?
No, I don't like
one
it at
on
all.
The one on the volume still bothers me.
Yeah.
But the most impressive thing for me, other than the gesture controls, which I've also got used to,
Really?
is that when you put your hand down by the seat, just as you graze over the buttons, it shows you exactly what you're about to move.
It's like witchcraft.
It is. It's really nice. But where I'm most curious, because like as you said, well, a heated and cooled cup holder, sorry, is part of the premium excellence.
Of course.
But like, what I'm curious about is how much rear seat room do you sacrifice by not getting the X5?
Let's go check.
You never learn.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
Soft close.
I feel bad
right?
again.
If you want to live a life of luxury,
Yeah.
you got to soft close everything.
You know what they've done here?
I've started soft closing my relationships. I just don't tell them it's over. Anyway, we do have quad zone climate control. We
Yes,
have
we do.
heated seats, USB-C in the back, right? But we do have a normal USB at the front.
You know what they've done? They've actually bucketed the seat. Like, you feel that? Like, it goes like down quite far to give you extra headroom.
Are you
to
sure you haven't just
compensate.
got heavier?
No. It's literally a pocket that your butt goes in, and therefore I have a totally acceptable amount of headroom.
Well, that's the thing with these coupe SUVs. You know, you think it's going to be bad in the back, and in the X4 it's not great. That's a real sacrifice from the
Yes,
X3. But
it
this
is.
car is so large, and you have the glass, roof,
Yep.
and the, as
Kind
I
of-
said, recessed seats,
And the bucket.
increased
kinda-
headroom. It's really,
It's
not-
honestly fine back here.
you lose a couple of inches, right?
I will give them
Which
that
for
for-
me would be devastating, but for this car, it's fine.
Yeah.
Eventually, Thomas stopped laughing long enough for us to gather our thoughts on the X6 M50i. In the last year, BMW have put out more new cars than Adam Sandler has put out bad Netflix movies. And whilst that homogeny that Thomas referred to a second ago is rife in the new range, the characteristics that they all share seem to have found no better Goldilocks zone than in the X6. That is, it just seems to work here. The insulation from the road, the lack of unnecessary drama, and the way that the car just seems to hold your hand. Things that we don't necessarily want to see in an M340i, and definitely, hopefully, please BMW, don't want to see in the new M3. But with this beast, they are all incredibly welcome attributes. So all in all, the X5 is a sweet spot that we have a soft spot for.
James, this is the X6.
I know what I said.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the X6 M50i. You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the X6